Now you watch some of them, they even got their own technique. They'll lean on that stick a little bit, some of them will. Back to the rules. DOT stamped tires, just like the tires you got on your pickup in the parking lot. The 485 cubic inch limit, that motor is cast iron block. Block can be aftermarket, but it has to be made of cast iron. The heads can be aluminum, no Tammy heads permitted. A single carburetor, there's no turbos or blowers or superchargers of any kind. And they do run gasoline. They have to run a gasoline fuel. Now the fuel of choice is VPQ16. Now what do you guys think high octane is you put in your vehicle? What is it at the gas station? 91? 91, that's pretty expensive, isn't it? You put 91 sometimes. You put 91 in your truck?
Absolutely, I do. It's the only way it'll run.
Yeah. You got a supercharger on it or something?
It's not on there yet. Will be.
I got a turbocharged car.
I gotta wait till the warranty runs out.
But the fuel in this class, the fuel of choice is VPQ16. It's 116 octane. Oxygenated racing fuel. Last time I bought some, it was about 15 something a gallon. Might be more now, I'm sure. But pretty good stuff made by VP Racing Fuel. Speaking of VP Racing Fuel, they are the official fuel of the Outlaws. Every single vehicle going down the track on the Outlaw.
Boy, did you only throw him? That's not how this works. Everybody has forgot how this works. Hey, what? I got two left. The loudest section. How about it? I'll give one to each side of the loudest section. Let me hear you. Come on. All right, here we go. $6,000 pro field. This is Jackson Pro out of Shell City, Missouri, and Osage Outlaw.
All right, word is that the chain stretcher is broke. I was looking intently at that replay screen, trying to see if the left front was pulling. He came out, it seemed like he was doing all right. He jumped into it, and all of a sudden the RPM came way up.
Jackson just went 329 feet, 0.02, 329.02. Got the green light. He's going to keep it. Hey, don't worry, pit side. I didn't forget about you. I still got a shirt to give out. We're going to get you loud. Everybody's still having a good time?
A round of applause there, the chain stretcher.
That's the broken driveline
part there. Obviously there.
At least it's still
rolling. You're going to lock up here in a second.
Off the drive
shaft.
Off the
U-joint. There we go.
Look down at the starting line. In this pro stock pickup class,
this used to be a rarity not too long ago. I say not long back last year before.
A Mopar,
a Dodge in the pro stock pickup class.
This is Alan Brommel out of New Virginia, Iowa. Swept line, body dodge. Calls it the wild thing. How about it? We got any Mopar fans here tonight? All right.
That says Cooter's crew.
Hey everybody, welcome to Outlawed. Jason Schultz here. Ron Stone will be joining me shortly. We have two guests tonight. Super excited. We're going to have Josh Birch, who is the promoter of the Lufkin, Texas. I think it's Dragon in the Pines or something like that. October 21st to 22nd. Outlaw classes, semi-truck drag races, semi-truck show, a whole bunch of stuff there. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a replay of Buckner, Missouri. I'm not sure if this is this year or last year. I can go check on Outlaw Live and see which one I got up here. Sibley, Missouri. This is 2021, so this would be a year ago at Buckner, Missouri. And then also our second guest tonight, around 7:30, we're going to bring Richard and Tammy Morris, Buffalo Chips Super Modified two-wheel drive truck champion for 2022. So super happy for them. We talked about that briefly last week. To me, that's one of the biggest stories of the year. Donald Nelson was clearly the hottest truck coming in, winning Louisville, winning the Pullers Championship, and then having Richard and Tammy beat him in the points. To me, that's a big deal for them. So super excited to have them on here tonight. And like I said, we're going to get started here shortly. Waiting for Ron. He was on the Kansas City loop trying to get figured out where he was going to be. So I'm going to let this video play for a few more minutes. Let me know where you're watching from tonight. Todd Vaughn's watching. Russ Dostal texted me already. I know he's watching. He was grabbing a bite to eat. It's about 60 degrees today in Wisconsin. So thinking of all of you in Florida with a hurricane heading your way, hopefully you're getting out of Dodge, if you will. And I guess head to the Midwest where it's a little warmer. Then you can hang out with us Midwestern people. But we're waiting for Josh Birch to come on from Lufkin, Texas. The great Ron Stone just got pulled over, and he's going to be joining us as well. Again, we're showing some replay from Buckner, Missouri from 2021 of outlawpulling.tv. Ron, how are you tonight, sir?
What's going on, my friend?
Just
Can you hear me?
Doing our show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. I told Josh to come on about 7:05, so going to be seeing him on here in a few minutes. I figured you and I would chat a little bit before. And of course, Lufkin, we're going to be talking about Lufkin here for a few weeks. That pull coming up the third weekend of October. Pretty big deal. I mean, the great Jason Schultz is coming down.
Well, it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? It could be worse. So it's called Dragon in the Pines, right, Ron?
Dragon and Pulling at the Pines. Yep.
Yeah, Dragon Pulling the Pines. Okay.
The facility is a drag strip, and it's under new ownership now. And Josh said the guy is really has run with the drag strip. He's updating things like sound systems, PA systems, and getting things in order and get ready for this event. They brought in a bunch more new seating for the tractor pull. Of course, the tractor pull going to be the focal point now of this event, where the drag strip was kind of the focal point before. Now the truck and tractor pull is going to be the entertainment focal point of the weekend.
Awesome. I'm trying to find their Facebook page right now, Ron, as we're talking. I threw it into Facebook here. So I found a public group. So I think I might have found it here. And we can ask Josh as well. Is Josh the promoter of the event, or what's Josh's official title?
Josh is the promoter, one half of the promoting team. Josh Birch and Ronnie Kelly. These two guys put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this event. And of course, 100% of the proceeds benefit Mission 22, Veterans Charity. Okay. So a couple of years ago 2020 20 was the first year that we went down to this with the Outlaws, and there was thousands of people there, and that's COVID year too, mind you. And the Highway Patrol was actually, the Texas Highway Patrol was fining them, calling them, and telling them people can't be parking on the highway because people were literally parking on the shoulder of the state highway because the line was so long to get in there. So they said they have parking, a lot more parking now, and they actually have some groups that are taking care of the parking. So that shouldn't be an issue regardless of how many people. But I think what they had said was that Saturday in 2020, they had 9,000 people through the gate there in the afternoon.
Okay.
So it's kind of a big deal.
Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. I'm finding some videos and stuff out there. I'll have to ask Josh if they have like an official Facebook page or something like that. But I'm finding some cool videos, stuff right now of the trucks. I mean, you talk about semi-truck show drag racing. That's kind of what it's all about. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's if you're into semis, if you're into racing, if you're into pulling, I mean, if you're into country music, I mean, it's a great event to put on your bucket list. So many, the semis are just unreal. How many beautiful custom semis there are, and then, you know, when you have time after the pull, go watch some of the drag racing. I was amazed at how fast some of these road tractors were. It's insane. It's like, you know, I know race cars that don't go as fast as some of these road tractors were going out there on the drag strips. Pretty amazing show there.
Looks like a good time. So
a great cause as well. So.
I'm going to share one of our screens here. I found some pretty cool video. So this is some of the drag racing trucks that Ronnie was talking about. That will be a Dragon in the Pines. Kind of looks like a burnout contest run they got going on there. So.
Yeah, Josh is text. Yeah, well, they have the burnouts. You know, before they do the burnout in the water bleach box before they race. Okay. You get the tires hot, but you know some of that's for show as well. But some of those trucks race actually will pull on Saturday night on the pulling track too. So.
Yep. Awesome.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, fellas. How are y'all doing?
What's going on? Now, Josh was a little nervous, Jason. I told him we'd be gentle.
Yeah, well, Josh, we just know how to use Facebook. We're not that intimidating, buddy. So.
Oh, I told him I had something for him when y'all come to
That sounds good. That sounds good. I like that a lot. Thanks for coming on tonight, Josh. We do this. Well, we lost Ron. That's okay. We don't need him anyway. Every Tuesday night, Josh, we promote Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn. We're live on all the pages right now. What's exciting is there's no other events coming up, Josh. So you're going to get a lot of attention of ours here the next month or so. And we're excited to come down to Lufkin Friday and Saturday, the 21st and 22nd. First of all, is there like an official Facebook page, Josh, or an official website that I should be sharing around to people?
Yeah, we have an official Facebook page. It's Dragging and Pulling in the Pines.
Okay. Now, is it a Facebook group or is it a Facebook page?
It's a page, and there's also a group for the show as well.
Okay, I'll find that later then. So, but we were showing before you came on, we were just talking, Josh, a little bit about the event, and I was bringing up some video showing some of the drag racing and different things like that. So, yeah, super cool. Hey, Ron, do you just want to take over, and I'm going to start digging up some video and stuff. We'll make Josh real big on the screen.
Oh man, thanks.
Yep,
guys.
go ahead. Go ahead and dig up some video there, and I'll talk to Josh. I'll depose Josh here a little bit.
Absolutely.
Well, Josh, I mean, now this event, how long have you been doing it down there?
So Ronnie and I, we've been doing this event for 8 years. So this will be our 8th year.
Okay.
And this is our 7th year at the track. The first year, it started off at the dealership. It was just a customer appreciation event. And I was also new to town, so we had an opening for our store there in Nacogdoches. And we had an amazing response, had 50 trucks show up. And we decided to move it out to the drag strip and start incorporating other parts of the show.
Okay. Has it always been a charity event for veterans charities like Mission 22 from the get-go?
It has, yeah. White Warrior is who it originally started with. That was who we did our first year. It's the Wyken Foundation.
Okay.
It's a foundation that is there to take veterans that are trying to reacclimate into civilian life. And, there's a lot of those charities where like a wounded warrior will go for the weekend and do some type of fun event. And those things are great. This is more along the lines where you can actually send a veteran there. He can live there, stay there, get training how to reacclimate to civilian life, how to interview, how to just do all the basic things that we take for granted day to day for a couple weeks, and then go out and start their journey there.
Okay.
So that's who we started with. HDA group, and that's their main charity. So Ronnie and I picked that, and then in 2016, we started with Mission 22.
Okay, and briefly, if you could just explain, what Mission 22 does. I mean, basically, kind of what you just described with the other charity that you were talking about, right?
One charity is to target. I want to say use the word target, but it's really there to help veterans reacclimate to civilian life. Mission 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and the whole purpose of Mission 22 is to raise awareness, to get people to talk about it, and to provide support net throughout the continental United States to let people know that there's other people that have been through these things, and there's places to go to talk about it and provide support battling PTSD and veteran suicide. We're trying to get it down to Mission 0. Would be a great day.
Okay, that's the goal. Okay. I know our first year being down there was 2020, right in the middle of COVID, and you guys were overwhelmed with spectators that weekend. I was amazed how many people were there. You've got all that stuff covered this year, all the parking and everything, right?
Oh yeah. So we've made another little road on the outside for the parking. So
okay.
No more stopping at the gate. We weren't expecting to have 10,000 people there that year. The show's grown every year. But the previous year, I think we had close to 5,000 people there, and we had around 100 show trucks. And we've always had it. We had a tractor pull the year before that was just run what you brung type event, and had a really good response with that. And me and you got hooked up, and the guys at Outlaw, and it's just doubled ever since. I mean, last year we had over 13,000 people attend Friday and Saturday night, and for small town Lufkin, that's a pretty big event.
Yeah, that's I was amazed in 2020. 2020 when we were there, just at how many people were there. And I mean, your event has all the ingredients, all the makings to be a bucket list style event. I mean, tractor pullers in general are patriotic folks, and pullers are talking about it now. So, and that's what you want. When pullers are like, come up and asking you, hey, are you going to have our class down there? You know that, you're doing something right. And you've got something here that's I think has a lot more potential to grow even larger than it already is.
Yeah, we've been blessed. We have the tractor pulls and everything that y'all have done to help support the event's been just nothing short of amazing. And the people that y'all bring with y'all, your racer or your pullers are just amazing, and the outpouring of support from them has been great. It's one of the things that I love about a lot of your pullers is after the show, they always call and check on us. And throughout the year, they text and phone calls. A lot of them have actually turned into friends. And it's just really nice to talk to them and go out and do their thing, and look forward to seeing them come this October.
It's definitely a show that I look forward to. We have kind of a gap between Spencer, Iowa, and Lufkin. We have a little break, but leading up to that event, I'm kind of chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get down there. It's a good time.
Man, we have a lot of trucks coming in this year too. Last year I think we had 17 registered A's and B trucks there last year. I mean, from all over North America all the way into Canada. And right now we're at 26. So of some of the best trucks in the country. And so as far as what you are bringing with your classes, and then the semi class, and then we have the drag race throughout the day, loaded and bobtail, throw in a couple 150 show trucks, and we have a car show at the same time, and there's just a lot going on where you can bring your family to this event and have something to do all day long and not be bored.
Now, you mentioned bobtail. Have you done that there before?
The bobtail racing, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and you're involved in that now as well. You have a truck you're actually racing now too, right?
Yeah, we have the Mission 22 Peterbilt, and we go to Onaway Speedway with Mr. Mike up there, and they're a gold sponsor for our event here. And a lot of these guys, like right there, Jerseyville, is a platinum sponsor this year. We race with Mr. Mike and Richard Darr, and they're great folks in that industry. They're patriotic as well, and who doesn't love horsepower?
Right.
It's my favorite thing about the trucks and the pulls is it's non-judgmental. It's no one can, the truck show, you can go, well, this is prettier to this, and it's opinionated, but at the end of the day, at the pull, it all comes down to who pulled it the furthest, and at the races, who ran it the fastest. And it doesn't matter whose opinion of anything. So we like the horsepower stuff.
Yeah, and the ingredients I was talking about, that make this event special. I mean, you got horsepower, you got drag racing, semis, you got truck and tractor pulling, you've got a truck show, you've got country music, and you've got all the patriotic stuff surrounding all that. The veterans and the charity. I mean, that is a good combination, I think, for this event to be, just massive in years to come. I'm so happy to hear that you talked to me a little bit about the new owner of the drag strip and the things he's doing to upgrade that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're pleased. So we're excited to put it on. It can't get here soon enough. So we got a little less than a month away. What's today? The 27th.
27th of September. Yeah.
We got.
Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now, we'll be headed your way. Now that's your truck right there, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And you raced this at Onaway with pulling the weight behind you?
Yes, sir. Bobtail is no weight, and loaded is obviously. And Onaway about 140 pounds, and here we'll run right at 100,000 pounds.
Now, Jason likes the big womp womp of the pro stock tractors. You heard that idle, didn't you, Jason?
I've been muting everything else, and then I just want to hear the womp.
Oh yeah, he'll talk to you.
That's the best thing in the world. So,
Mr. Jeff and Justin in our shop, they pretty much built everything on that truck. I've been real pleased with them, and then we've gotten a lot of help from Richard Darr, Colton Saylor, and a lot of friends in the industry. It's been a lot of fun building that truck. And
Sailors have been kicking ass out this year. Since Lonnie got out, Josh, he won Bowling Green and he won the Enderley. He's been doing awesome this year, Josh.
And yeah, Colton's a great dude. He's brought on a ton of knowledge to our truck and just helping us prepare for On the Way. He's gonna actually be here that weekend as well. So we're excited to see him come down and pull.
No, this is awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So, because this is like this is the best of both worlds: the show and shine, the drag racing, and the pulling. I mean, it's cool that you have a facility, Josh, that can pull all of this up. So
yeah,
we're gonna try to make you famous.
Friday night, we have, as soon as the pulls are over with, we have Stoney LaRue. So if you're a fan of Red Dirt Radio and country music, Stoney's been a long time. So he'll be playing, and then Saturday night party in the pits with Ron and his band. So man, if you like shiny stuff, horsepower, and good music, this is a great place to come out and hang out. And it's for a good cause. You know, we have a goal every year to try to surpass. And last year we were able to donate over $50,000 to Mission 22 and to Wyken. And if we can, get to that number or then some, it'd just be a blessing to be able to put on an event like this and be able to make a donation to two great foundations.
Yeah, a good friend of mine up here, Josh, he lives in Lebo, Kansas. Jesse Knight has a diesel pickup, and his class is pulling down there. That's one of the points finales. And he's not really following the points, but his truck, he donates and has for years all of his winnings to the Semper Fi Fund.
Oh, sweet.
And he has done that for years. He just takes his winning checks and signs them over to them whenever he wins an event, regardless how much he wins. And I'm trying to get him to come down. I think the fans would like that truck down there.
They absolutely would.
Yeah, I'm a Marine, so tell him to come on with it.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dude. I just saw him Saturday. Hadn't seen him in a while in Bedford, Iowa at a pull, and I was hitting him up about coming down there. And he's a trucker too. He runs a trucking business, so it's perfect for him. He needs to come down. I'm going to keep working on him.
Well, thank y'all very much, Ron. We sure do appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to get as many as we could possibly get down there. Of course, the modified tractor points final is down there, and you guys have been gracious enough to pump those purses up for those classes down there too, throwing some added money at them. And of course, two-wheel drives. There's a lot of good two-wheel drives in Texas. Richard Morris, the points champion for the Outlaws, is coming. We actually have him on the show later here tonight, but they're coming. They've came every year since we've been going down there as well. Richard and Tammy Morris. A lot of good iron is headed south.
Sure that dirt's just perfect for him.
Yeah. We're gonna leave that sealed up until we get there. All right.
It is. Yeah, it's sealed up.
Have you been getting any rain at all?
Water truck.
The water truck. Okay. Well, we've run into those dry conditions in other areas this summer, but we've been able to overcome it and have some really good tracks. We had some great tracks this summer, but
yeah, we put a couple thousand gallons on it again today. So we've been out there getting everything ready, just trying to keep it moist and keep her tightened up. We're ready.
I think you're probably going to see the biggest show as far as pulling goes this year is what you've had in a long time. So I think there's going to be a lot of iron there.
Well, we're ready for it. So it's going to be a good time. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready right now.
4 weeks.
Josh, Ron doesn't know what to do with something to do every single day right now. He's going through withdrawal. He's going through it.
Like a counterpart. Yeah. Well, thank y'all for having me on. If there's anything y'all need, just let me know. And guys, thank y'all for all the support to all the members of the Outlaw family. We're just thankful that y'all have such a great time when y'all come here and support everything that Ronnie and I've been trying to do to support Mission 22 and our industry, man. We appreciate y'all very much. Thank y'all.
Josh, just kind of plan on every Tuesday night here until the event. Just no, seriously.
I don't think so. You guys.
Why not, Josh? Well, he hung up on me. Is he mad at me, Ron? You think he's mad at me? He hung up on me.
I thought he was breaking up a little bit there before that happened, but we'll see if we can get Ronnie on too, his partner. We can get Ronnie on here.
We thought maybe you hung up on us, Birch.
I was getting ready.
I was like, we've been really nice. We haven't said anything mean or all or anything tonight.
Is Ronnie going to come on?
No, we'll get a hold of Ronnie and see if we can get him to come on one night too. Maybe the week of we can get both of you on here at the same time.
Yeah, man, because we got an auction. We're working on getting a lot of auction guests together as well. So we have a pretty big auction. We got Traeger grills. We have guns, pistols, rifles, TVs. We've got a lot of stuff to be able to auction.
Ron, we should try to get some Frosted Frog stuff to him and maybe talk to some of our bigger sponsors like VP and Schaefer's and see what they can donate to the auction as well. So.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing some of that this week.
Okay. If any of you are watching tonight, we have a lot of people watching. We do every Tuesday night. And you want to donate some nice prizes. They're not looking for pens and ball caps. They're looking for something a little more pizzazz that people are going to bid on and different things like that. But get a hold of Ron or get a hold of me, and we'll get you in touch with Josh, because that's what this is all about. And I'm a veteran as well, and I love anybody helping veterans. That tugs at my purse strings a little bit, and I'm super happy that you guys are doing this and glad to be part of it. And we are going to promote the holy crap out of this on Beer Money Pulling Team and the Outlaws the next 20 some days. And we reach over 1 million people every week with our stuff. So it's all good.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Ron. We sure appreciate y'all.
Yep. Thank you, Josh.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Be good, buddy.
All right, Josh. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Have a good night.
You can leave this time, Josh, without hanging up on us. Kurt.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
I'm on my laptop tonight. My regular work computer, I got the blue screen, so I'm not sure what's going on. But Kurt's really impressed with everything. He's had some nice comments on here. We all know how much Kurt and the Outlaws support the veterans. We're there every week and see that. Josh Sharp, I don't know what message you're talking about, Josh, that I missed. But I remember you from Weeping Water, but I didn't see any messages. So I'm not ignoring your wife, Josh. You just have to, I don't know where that message is, I guess. So let me know. And I'll try to find that. I do run about 50 Facebook pages, so I might have missed it. I'm not gonna lie. So.
You got a few things going on there.
No, but I don't want to. I get that.
So this definitely is a bucket list type event. I think it's just going to gain more and more notoriety, and pullers are starting to ask about it. When they start asking, that means they want to go.
Yep.
So.
Is it close to Donald Nelson's house, Nick? I feel like that's close.
Donald is, I'm not sure how far it is. Well, it's in Texas, and
Texas.
And I know Texas is huge, but I think I'm not sure DeLeon might be closer to him.
Okay.
That we have every summer, but this might be the second closest outlaw pull to Whitey and Cole and Donald and all the guys down there.
Well, there's a lot of two-wheelers in Texas. Hey, Ron,
there are.
I'm on outlawpulling.tv. I want to queue up a video. What was one of your most memorable runs of Buffalo Chips this year? Our next guest coming on here in a little bit.
Let's see. Unionville, Missouri.
Okay. Yeah, they did. They took the class, right?
Yeah, and he put, 20, 30, 40 feet on second place. It was.
Yeah.
That was an amazing hook. Spencer, he won Spencer, walk-off win there, Spencer. Seems like there was another really good one that I think it might have been earlier in the season. I can't think of where it is, but I know Unionville, he had an amazing pass, and then Spencer was a great one too. I need to try to concentrate and think. There was another one that he was just screaming that thing and put a bunch of distance on the whole class. But that truck he had it set on kill. I mean, all summer, and won his first championship this year.
It ran off. It ran
Yeah.
off.
He was hooked up so many times this summer. Yeah.
I found it. We're good. We're ready to roll. Ready to roll, Ron. Ron Stone. Outlawed.
Ron Stone.
He had a great pass at quarter. Yes, he did, Chuck. Yes, he did. I mean, he had a great season. Let's be honest. But I just
did he win Corden this? He did. He did win Corden. He had a heck of a pass last year, Corden as well. But I forgot. I think he did win Corden this year. So thanks, Chuck. Appreciate that.
Don says it's the closest pull for us, 150 miles. Okay.
Oh man, you can just about walk that, Donald. I mean,
yeah, just leave now, Don. Yeah, Josh, if you just get a hold of me on Facebook, Josh, and I will we can talk about that. So shooting some photos. We have a lot of people taking photos for the Outlaws, but if there's a couple events, just I'll help you out with that. So great pass at Cordon. Cameron is the closest. Okay, cool. So, Van Beek saying that Cameron Neves is the closest. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So McAdoo must not be too far away then. Huh?
Yeah. So, again, if you're just joining us, it's Tuesday night. It's September 27th. Jason Schultz and Ron Stone here with the Outlawed live every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can always listen to us on iTunes and Spotify as well. Go to Let's Grow Polling and then just search for Outlawed Live, and you'll find that. You can also watch the replays on YouTube and Facebook as well on the Outlawed Facebook page. So you can catch us everywhere out there. We thank you very, very much for hanging with us every Tuesday night for the last year and a half. Ron and I started this show in May of 2021 after the Dubuque, Iowa poll. Ron and I were talking that night afterwards and like, we need to do a weekly show. He's like, let's do it. And I would say 99, well, there's always one of us on here. Sometimes I can't be on here. Sometimes Ron can't be on here. Josh Running has filled in a couple times. And during the summer, it's dedicated to polling events, previewing upcoming events, and then reviewing last week's events. And then the winter, the off season, if you will, we really focus on legends and young guns. And speaking of legends, Mark Ulmer's birthday party is Saturday, October 15th in Menno, South Dakota, at the Roosters and the Beer Garden around 5:00. And it's going to be legit, guys. Like Robbie Russell's coming, Esden Lane's coming.
Yeah.
Everybody's invited. So we need to, for 65 years of Mark Ulmer, and to hear the stories, we just put up a behind the helmet with him on YouTube on the Beer Money Polling Team. If you missed Outlawed Live last Tuesday, I mean, he was telling us funny stories about tricking the New Yorkers into thinking they roll pitchweed into bales.
Our shows always run a little bit long when Mark is on. Have you noticed that?
What happened to me in Windsor, Colorado? I was supposed to help him out, and I was stuck in his trailer talking. So.
Now, the two establishments that you just mentioned in Menno that are going to be open that night for Mark's party, are they across the street from each other, right?
Yeah, the Roosters is right across the street from the Beer Garden.
So are they closing the street down in Menno for Mark's party that night?
Laptop. My wife's laptop. I need the power cord. So.
Was that you freezing or me there?
I'm shutting it down, Ron. I'm taking care of it. So.
Okay. Do we have the Morrises on here yet? We need to get the Morrises on here. Tammy and Richard Morris should be coming on here any moment. You good now?
Oh, shoot. Me or is that you, Ron?
I don't know. I could see.
It's the yellow end one.
having a little technical difficulty with Jason here, and of course I can't see backstage and see if Richard and Hemi Morris are on here, so we'll have to wait for Jason. And he'll bring some video, some highlights from the season with Richard Morris and Buffalo's Chips winning his first Outlaw Points Championship this year in the super modified two-wheel drive division. And Jason was kind of outlining, our guests that we have on the show every Tuesday night, promoters and pullers, legends, and young guns. And we also will be bringing on, especially in the next several weeks, we'll be bringing on different points championships from the different classes of the Outlaws. We want to make sure we get all those pullers on here for an interview on the show. We had Mark Ulmer on last week. He won the light superstock class once again with the Outlaws, that light superstock division. And we picked his brain a little bit, trying to figure out what he's doing. You keep hearing rumblings. He keeps talking about building a diesel-powered unlimited superstock. And it sounds like he's getting a little more serious about doing that. So he says he's going to keep the weapon intact, and he's got the Eleanor tractor sold. So our assumption is he's going to keep running the weapon in the light supers and then run his Alice Chalmers D21 in the unlimited super stock, burning diesel fuel. So once again, Jason, I think we're still live here. I see the clock going, but there's Richard Morris. Come on, Richard. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Jason's having some technical difficulties, but we'll get him back on here in a minute. Is Tammy there with you?
I think she's outside right now.
She's outside. She didn't want to come on. Okay.
She camera shy.
Okay.
So Richard,
hi, Jason. You're back.
Yeah, you'd think somebody like me would have technology figured out a little bit, but I don't. Not always. So I'm Richard, we have your Unionville, Missouri run queued up. I want to go through this. You had a heck of a pass there. I asked Ron before you came on, what are some of your most memorable Buffalo Chips hooks of year? And he said Unionville. I think you won by 20-some feet that night, so that was awesome. I'm going to cue that up here quick, guys, and then you could talk us through it a little bit, Richard, if you don't mind.
Buffalo's Chips. Wow. Oh, Unionville, Missouri, put your hands together.
So Jason, you were in Unionville. You've seen how high the crow's nest was in the air there.
39.12. How about 363.54?
I got to mute that announcer guy. He's getting annoying.
Yeah, the guy's voice just irritating. So that was what it.
Yeah,
but the lead distance up to that point was 329 and change, I think I heard. So it was like over 30 feet.
Yeah. 339 was the lead up to that point. And then
339. Okay, gotcha. So
Richard, what are some of your other really memorable pulls of the 2022 season? And congrats, by the way, on your points championship. It's awesome. I felt like Donald Nelson was one of the hottest pullers coming into the points season. He won Louisville, won the pullers championship, and then you guys I think you guys won the points by 25 or 30 points, don't you think, Richard or Rick or Ron? Do you know for sure?
Yeah, there was, I think literally in Spencer, he just had to come in and bump the sled and it was over.
That's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Richard, can you still hear us or are you frozen?
Nope, I can still hear you.
What are some other videos, Richard, I can bring up of your truck that really, really passes this season? You're like, wow, I got this thing figured out, because I want to bring them up.
I don't know if you can bring up Cordon, Iowa or not.
I'll try.
Yeah,
somebody commented, Chuck Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep. That was one of them on there. If you guys got any questions for Richard Morris or any comments or anything like that, please put them in the comments. We got him on here tonight. And thanks. Richard, why did you name your truck what you named your truck? I've always wanted to ask you that. So
I did not name it.
Okay, who did?
Terry Martin, Bob's daughter. His nickname was Buffalo, and she said it cost so much money, and he liked to gamble a little bit, so that's where she come up with Buffalo Chips. And when I bought it, I asked if I could retain the name, and he said sure.
Awesome. I know I've always wanted to do. I always think I was hoping it had something to do with cow chips or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go search for that video, Ron. If you want to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
My hat's off to Josh for the Lufkin pull, because we're going to go down there early and see if we can't whoop the track up and get it in shape and get it like it needs to be. And like I said, we're going to go down there a couple of days early, see if we can't get something done down there and help him out a little bit.
Good deal. And Richard, you've been there several years in a row. I mean, there's a draw to that pull. I mean, it has the makings to be a huge event.
It has the makings. It has the makings to be a real huge event, even not just for pullers, but just for a family atmosphere to come around and mess around for Friday and Saturday. I mean, it's a good place to be. Yeah,
it is. It's I always ever since the first one, I look forward to going back there. So, and they're great people to work with, and the charity and everything. So it's great.
They're good people down there, and we met a lot of good people down there, and try to stay in touch with Jason down there throughout the year and see what's going on and see what we can do to help.
Yeah. Richard, let's talk about you a little bit. I mean, let's go back to your roots of pulling. I mean, how did you get started? How did you get entangled in the pulling game?
I had no beat up 4-wheel drive, and I pulled for a little bit, and then a buddy of mine lent me one of his, and it was a carbureted 383 motor. It was a 2-wheel drive, and then I helped Marty Neese there for a long time and run one of his just a little bit for a year. And I mean, learned a lot throughout the pulling venture. Has been a long time, but I mean, I just finally got this one and been working on it for quite some time. Just hadn't really figured it out yet.
I think you got it figured out now, Richard.
Well, I don't know if figured out is the right word. It seems like it's always a work in progress. It just goes in a circle because you're always chasing your tail for something.
Yeah, you've got, you probably have the most unique headers on any 2-wheeler on the circuit. You got those long tube headers. What I was getting ready to say to Jason was how high that crow's nest was up there at Unionville. And when you went by, I was kind of hanging out the window looking, and I just got a blast of hot air up there from your exhaust when you went by. It was crazy that it shot up there that far, and I could actually feel all that heat. But what year is that truck?
That is a 46 Jeep.
46 Willie's Jeep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool and that's a steel body too, right?
That is all steel. I'm a welder. I don't like fiberglass. I'm sorry.
Good deal. Now, you guys had 2 pulling vehicles at the same time there for a while, didn't you?
Yep. Had Tammy's Pro Stock 4x4.
Was it Dazed and Confused? Was the name of that one. That one, unfortunately, got burned up in a garage fire, I think, wasn't it?
Yep. Shop fire 5 years ago. Yep.
And now you guys, I've heard you guys talking a little bit about the possibility of bringing another 2-wheeler onto the track.
Well, maybe one of these days, hopefully. I mean, I'd like to get it maybe for next year, but if it don't happen, it'll be the year after that. Right. Getting parts for motors is just is crazy now. I mean, it's just supposed to have 2 motors being built, but can't get parts. So what do you do?
Yeah, that's still an issue. It shouldn't be, but it is. And I know the pullers have fought that all summer long, dealing with that issue. Some of the guys, they'd tear some up really bad, and they'd be like, "Well, we're done." It's we won't get parts in time to be back on the track by the end of the summer. And it hasn't always been like that. It's a unique year, that supply chain issue. And I can't see those questions, Jason. You might have to read those if.
Oh, sorry. No, just a lot of compliments for Richard and Tammy. Let's see here. Pam Shellum says, awesome job this year, Richard and Tammy. Kurt Van Beek says, thanks, Richard, for helping Josh with the traffic and Lufkin again. You are awesome. Marty Samuelson, our regular from Ravenna. I don't know if any Ravenna pullers are listening, but if you are going to Texas, I think Marty's looking for a ride, Ron. So
Marty.
and then congrats to both of the Morrises, well deserved. Somebody on one of the Facebook groups. We're on 8 different pages right now. Hey, Richard Corridon, were the two-wheelers earlier in the show or middle or end? Do you remember?
They were at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, they were at the end.
4 hours of video, so I'm trying to find you. So.
Yeah, you won that.
They should have been last class, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
you won that one 2 years in a row there, Richard. That was pretty impressive to come back there and repeat that again there in Corridon.
Well, I helped Kevin with the tracks, and the years previous, I'd went down and been hooker for Kevin because that night we didn't have no pull, but I did know what the dirt was like, and that kind of helps sometimes when you've got a new pull. That kind of helps to know what the dirt is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's something. There's guys like in some classes they'll be out there when they're disking it up and running that dirt through their fingers, and there's some good track readers in the Outlaws for sure. Let me know when you got that queued up there, Jason.
I'm looking. It's Wayne County Fair, right, in Iowa, Corridon,
Yep.
Iowa.
Yes.
Like a moron, I just went through the entire Wayne, Nebraska show.
Oh, it's not there. Yeah.
No, wrong state.
That's a good pull too, but there are no two-wheelers there.
I'm special. That's all I'm gonna say. There it is, Corridon, Iowa. He's right on the cover. Towards the end. Yeah, I remember that. I was there. What the heck? Okay, almost got it.
So your two-wheeler, you're running a Minor Brothers Hemi. That thing is on point, Richard. I mean, that thing is screaming this year.
Well, a couple years ago, Sabaka told me, he said, you go good to 250 and then it withers down. And I said, don't have enough arm. It was just a 540 at that time. So we had 8-inch arm to it and made it to 557. And now I don't know if you can kill that motor or not. I mean, it just keeps on going. It's like a little Energizer bunny. It just keeps on going and going. And it's kind of crazy how things have come about over the last couple of years.
So I'm going to play the video, turn the sound on because
we want to hear it for sure.
So. And in Corridon there, man, you back tied in there. There's vendors on each side, and it's such a cool place to pull. So.
Yeah, that one vendor right there that you just saw on the right has the greatest corn dogs.
326.89, the distance to beat. Cameron Pascal and High Cotton in the number 1 spot right now. This is last year's winner here. Was the only win for this truck last year, was here at Corridon. Currently leads the points. Coming in here tonight, this is Richard Morris out of Neosho, Missouri. Buffalo's Chips.
Wow.
Richard Morris loves this track here in Corridon, Iowa. Just pulled out into the number 1 spot.
That's good stuff. We'll just watch. I turned the sound off now so we can talk to you.
Okay. The guys with the High Cotton, that's the second time that you went past them. And
I was just going to say, I think that's his
did that at Unionville too.
I think that if High Cotton's in the lead, I think Richard wants to pull next. That's pretty much Again, guys, if you're just joining us, it's Outlawed Live every Tuesday night. Richard Morris is our guest tonight. Our first guest was Josh Birch, promoter of the Lufkin Mission 22 Dragon and Pulling in the Pines, October 21 and 22. And Richard Morris, your 2022 super modified two-wheel drive points champion with the Buffalo's chip, joins us now. We're just got a little video playing from Corridon right now. Kurt Van Beek's asking about the boosted pork chops too. So now we're going to get into
the pork chops on a stick there. Those were pretty good. They were roasted pork chops.
One of my favorite places to eat is at Richard's trailer because Tammy always has a spread out. Thank you for doing that, Richard. So.
Yeah, I made a pit stop over there Saturday night in Bedford as well. There, Jason. So yeah, I'm a returning customer.
I think they should get like lunch tickets like we had in high school, Ron, and we could only go like 5 or 10, or we have to buy a pack.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a repeat customer.
All right. I remember years ago when you bought Buffalo chips. That's awesome. You got an Outlaw championship. Congrats, Richard. That's from Marvin Mugler. Now, that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
That's cool. That is super cool. And then Robert Miner says, has Richard pulled indoors? If he has, where? Where have you pulled indoors before, Richard?
Oh, my goodness. Years ago in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
At the Coliseum?
Yep.
With the four-wheel drive or the two-wheeler?
Both of them.
Okay. What year did you buy Buffalo's chips then?
2001.
Okay. So 21 years. Okay. Gotcha. Because I would have seen you pull there then because I went out to there because Dad lived out in Bremen, Indiana at the time, Richard. We'd always go out. We didn't miss one of those. Y'all parked underneath the building, right? Like at the parking ramp, if I remember correctly?
Yep.
And there was like a hockey coliseum on the other side of that building. It was a huge facility. So.
Yep. Huh. Pulled inside at Waco, down at the Hot Coliseum at Waco, Texas.
Do you remember when that was, Richard? Do you remember when that was, Richard, in Waco?
Waco, that would have to be that would have to be 5 or 6, 05 or 06.
I'm gonna find some video of that.
He's gonna go looking for it now.
Nah, I don't think there's any videos of that.
If there's no video, it didn't happen, Richard. Those are my rules. So I gotta
All right.
There might be on YouTube. You never know what you're gonna find on YouTube there. I'm sure that's where he's looking. So, this second two-wheeler that you already have the chassis, right? Or you just have a body?
Have the chassis, have the body, just don't have engine yet.
Don't have a power plant.
Richard, if you don't have to, this is like Ron's favorite thing to do. Like he was pestering Mark Ulmer last week. What are you building? What are you doing, Richard? You can put your thing too, okay? Ron's an announcer. We like to have all those stories.
Well, everybody's asking the same questions. Everybody wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know what's new. Everybody wants to know.
Ron's just like a groundhog. He just keeps digging.
That's the nicest thing you've been called today is a groundhog, Ron.
My favorite question to ask, especially any diesel tractor class, Richard, is, and I just made it a habit to ask the question because 99% of the time you got pretty much the same answer, which was a non-answer, was, how much horsepower are you making? And usually the answer is not enough. So rarely does someone truthfully answer that question. Especially those diesel tractors. Those guys don't like to keep that under their lid. But I just assume you're probably making somewhere around 3,000 horse. I mean, am I right?
Oh, you can with that motor, but that motor won't last very long like that. It's not 3,000 horse by no means.
So you're about 2,800 or so then.
Ron, you just keep digging.
About 25.
25, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find anything from Waco there, Jason?
No, I'm actually struggling, but I'm not giving up. So I got a bunch of
Well, Richard, I mean, I know you've probably had people help you out. I know you do most of your own work, being a welder, and I've seen you welding other people's stuff for them. Is there anybody that you want to thank for this season?
Well, I would like to thank Adam Kester for building the motor, which he does an awesome job, and he always does an awesome job. Very thorough.
I've heard of that guy.
Mark Korth for the tires. That's the only guy I'll have do tires. I mean, Mark is excellent. He takes his time. He is very precise. He's very, very good at what he does. Show Trucking, he's had his advertisement on my truck for a long time, and he helps me out quite a bit throughout the year. And I mean, it's just and the Outlaw family, just for being there and the support they give, because that does mean a lot. I mean, it really does. All friends.
I was going to say, as you're saying that, Connie Mullenix put up a message saying, congratulations, Richard and Tammy Morris. But go ahead, Richard. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, all people, even though I do a lot of welding and stuff, I may ask for a cold beverage for payment, but I don't like to take any money because, I do it for the guys because they would do the same thing for me. I mean, when we put our helmets on, we are competitors. When we take our helmets off, we're family again, and we'll help each other. And that's what I like to see. And these kids that are young guns now, and the kids that have grown up and got married that I've watched as babies in mama's arms, I've been around a long time, and it brings tears to my eyes to watch these kids grow up and be still in this sport. And that's what I want to see.
That's the kind of stuff. That's the stuff, Richard. That's cool to hear pullers say that. That's neat.
Yeah, and Mark Ulmer says the same thing. He said that one of the things that makes him the happiest is seeing these young kids growing up and getting into pulling and getting competitive and sticking with it. And that's
take time for the kids, because the kids are our next generation. They're our future.
They're the future of the sport for sure. Ken Summers said you make a mean hamburger.
Tammy makes them. I just grill them.
Yeah, you really had a big spread down there at Mound City, Kansas that night. We got Ron to get the guitar out. That was a nice night. So Mark Ham says, congratulations. I feel that Hemi when it goes by.
Yeah, we all do, Mark. We all do.
It has a happy power plant. That's awesome. I just found a picture of Dazed and Confused. I want to put that on my screen. So give me a second. So keep talking, Ron.
Are you looking for video of it? Is that what you're doing? Or
I found a picture of Tammy's truck. I just got to find the video next. Put that on the screen while we're yakking.
Yeah, that's it. And what do you got planned for next year, Richard? Anything different or more of the same? Or are you going to try to, refine anything or just run it the way it is? I mean, what's your plans for next year?
Boys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Come on, just try to freshen it up and get some parts that ain't wore out, and we'll go again. I mean, like I said, when we put our helmets on, we're competitors. When we take our helmets off, we're family again, and we'll help each other.
Yeah, and that's awesome to see, and the fans don't always get to see that, and we'll mention it when we see it or somebody tells us it's going on. That was, kind of like, there's Tammy's old truck, the Dazed Confused Chevy. At Windsor, Colorado, when Ken and Sid Summers, when her tractor went down in the staging area, somebody mentioned that there was actually some competitors of theirs, as well as some two-wheel drive pullers in there trying to help them get that tractor going so she could pull in competition. But that's what it's all about, and we love to see that. And pullers, they don't want to win a pull that way by default, somebody unable to make the call, and they want to actually have somebody compete against them and earn that win, and it's definitely a pulling family, and it's awesome to be around. Jerry Setter, I've truly enjoyed hanging out with this season with the Richard and Tammy. You have video there, Jason?
Yeah.
Just more pictures. Do you have video?
No, this is I got on the YouTuber. I gotta see what year this was.
So that would be Tammy driving there, Richard.
Oh yeah, that's not me.
You recall where that's at?
That's an Outlaw show. I saw the Outlaw logos.
Looks like Whitewright. No, it's not Whitewright. No, that's Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Is it really?
Yep.
2009, Chickasha, Oklahoma. 2009.
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
Good deal. How well did she do with that truck? Did she ever get up into the top 5 in the points with that? Obviously a pro stock pickup.
I can't remember on the points wise. I know she won Wisner one night and a couple others. I believe she won Des Moines one night. It's kind of funny story. Her motor builder was there in Newton, Iowa, Al Parker. And I had been trying to explain to him, because he's from the sprint car drag race world. And I was trying to explain to him the pulling world, and he just didn't understand. But he come there one day when she was pulling, and she started off, and the motor she had was a real big bore short stroke motor, so it liked high RPMs.
Yeah.
When she took off from the sled at 100 foot, he stood up and screamed, "Shut it off, it's going to blow up." At 200 foot, he throwed his popcorn over everybody. "Please shut it off, it's going to blow up." And at 300 foot, he throwed his Coke, and everybody stood up and was looking at him kind of odd. He said, "Shut it off, it's going to blow up." And she won the class that day, and we towed it back around to the trailer. And by the time I got back to the trailer, he got me on the phone, and he said, "Man," he says, "I have a lot more better understanding of what you have been trying to tell me all along." But he said, "That poor motor didn't get a breath." And I said, "I told you that blonde is hard on that motor. She will show no mercy whatsoever." And that's just the way she had to drive it.
Richard, it's so funny that you said that. So last night on Let's Go Pulling, we had the Holman brothers on there, and they were talking about some of the earlier motor builders came from like the sprint car world. And once they realized that pullers had money too, they started paying attention to pulling. They were trying to explain to him, the difference between a racing motor versus a pulling motor. And it's just funny that you said that, because it's true. It's two different worlds.
It is a totally different world.
Yep.
Them guys get to run on, mostly asphalt in the drag car world. The sprint car, they're still on dirt, but the motors get a little breath. They get to take a breath. These motors don't get to take a breath. When they go, they're all out and gone.
Yeah, if they take a breath, it's usually not very good. So that's all.
Yeah, those pro stock pickups. I'm amazed at the RPMs they can turn and hang together. It's incredible. All those moving parts can be moving that fast and hang together. It's 10,000 RPMs is just, when you break it down, it's crazy that they do this week in and week out, and they go in and adjust the valves and the valve springs. That's why the parts are so expensive. Is 167 revolutions per second is insanity. But these guys do it week in and week out, and do it 30, 35 times a year.
They always ask what her motor would turn, and I'd tell them, and look at me like I was crazy, because she come off the line at 88, 8900, and that motor would turn 11.4, 11.5 every pass, and it was a valve spring eater. It was.
I bet.
But it sounded like it's turning 9,000. It didn't sound like it's turning 11. Them guys would never believe me until I showed them the tack. Oh man, they just they couldn't believe what they was seeing.
Well, 11,000 RPM. The valve spring's closing that valve 90, almost 100 times a second. How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. No wonder we broke valve springs.
Yep.
That's it.
All right, so I want to start a contest right now. We're going to name your new truck right now, Richard. So if anybody has an idea for Richard Morris's second truck, and you don't have to use this, Richard, but let's have a little fun with it. Is Tammy going to drive it, Richard?
I hope so. That's what the whole point of it is. I'd like to get her in it.
Okay, so we're going to name Tammy Morris's two-wheel drive truck, everybody. So everybody loves Tammy, and everybody's got their Tammy story. So this could be fun. That's all I'm going to say. This could be fun. But remember, she feeds us, so don't be too mean. She might lick the burger before she gives it to Richard. Roger Rui says it was fun watching Richard this year. Josh Mazier says some of the greatest people I've ever met. Now that's a nice compliment.
Yeah.
And those truck guys don't like to give a lot of compliments. You know that, Rob.
Don't be beating on my truck guys too much.
No, it's just fun when we get them all on and they're all hammering on each other. So again, Richard Morris is live with us, your 2022 super modified two-wheel drive truck Outlaw points champion. If you have any questions, if you have any stories, any comments, please throw them into the comments. We've had quite a few comments tonight. We need to celebrate our champions. And the neatest thing that Richard said tonight was the young guns, talking about the future of our sport. When he said, I used to watch that little kid in their mother's arms, or I don't know exactly how he said it, that got me a little bit. And, that's cool.
Now they're grown up and driving tractors down the track.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So, and
I like the young guns deal. All right. That is tribute to our future.
Yep.
But one thing I would like to say is we've got to remember the old guns that's got us here. There's a lot of older pullers that are still around that, hey, they need to be recognized. They really do.
Yep.
Because some of them ain't got many years left. And they brought us to this point. Thank God for them. Because I've learned a lot from them. Even tractor guys, I've learned a lot from them.
Yeah, I think Ron, we use the legend term loose, but we could probably, I think there's some people trying to find a sponsor for the legend series with you guys. So, we joked around with Fred Petch that night, all night, that a legend is a nice way to say your old Petch, and we were picking on him and having a good time, but no, that's the truth, and the stories and the stuff they did and tried and the tribulations to get us to where we are today. If you think of the safety of our sport, you guys, what still seeing a tractor without a roll cage on it still just makes me shiver now. Anything big, with big 30.5s or 24.5s. And you talk to some of the pullers that were like Mark Holmer talked about it. He's like, we were so anti-roll cage until the first time we sat in there, and then we felt good. It's just neat to see all of that. So, we got some names coming in. Here we go. They need to name it 124. They should sponsor it. That's Lauren Paulson.
What?
That must be an inside joke. So, Wide Open would be a good name. I love watching truck and tractor pulls. Todd Vaughn says Chips Ahoy. Okay.
Chips Ahoy.
And then Michael Compton saying they don't come any better than Richard. Another great compliment, Richard, tonight of all the fans. This is what's fun. We're celebrating a points championship. We're getting to know Richard Morris a little bit better because at the pulls, we're always in a hurry. Get there, get set up, go pull, and then relax. But not everybody gets to relax. But the Morris is making enough food. You don't have to be shy. They always have to put some away. So if you're around, stop by the trailer.
And the reason for that is, it's usually so hot and it's hard to eat before a pull. And by the time the pull's over, if you're any place that has concessions or something, they're usually closed up. So you either go to bed hungry or you bring your own stuff. And that's what we've been doing.
I like it.
And we enjoy people coming around. That's it. That's what it's all about.
Yep. No, agreed 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I was very thankful. Of course, Bedford wasn't an Outlaw hook this past Saturday, but we were done at 1:30 in the morning up there. Man, I was so thankful you guys were still over there cooking because I was starving. And Chris Wagle was over there, and he said, "Come on over to the trailer after the pull." He went up there with Richard Warren. He texted me right before quitting time, and he said, "Well, Richard must have went to bed and packed everything up." So I was like, Oh no! So I took a drive through the pits, and lo and behold, where was the food at? It was over at Richard and Tammy's trailer, and everybody was over there eating. So went over and got a couple hamburgers and a beer, and sat around and did some bench pulling over there, talking about pulling and stuff. So always a good time.
Richard, how many outdoor hooks do you have left this season then? So Lufkin, Texas for sure. What else do you kind of have on the schedule?
That's it, as far as I know.
Okay.
Just Lufkin. Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. I know it's really winding down. I know there's still some pulls in Missouri. I've seen some brush pulls popping up and stuff like that, but I think for the most part, all the major associations are shutting her down. So.
Yep. It's starting to get cool down here too. I'm not sure what your temps are up there at night, Jason, but
well, we got down into the 30s last night. There was a little bit of, light frost on the grass this morning when I walked the dogs. So.
Yep. Should be nice and warm down in Texas. It might get a little cool at night, in October, but it's just north of Houston there, so not too far from South Texas.
Nice.
You want to go ahead and wrap it up, Jason, or?
Yeah, no, Richard, thank you for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. Congratulations to your points championship. Like I said, and I'm not kissing your ass, I think your points championship is probably the toughest because Nelson's, they have 3 trucks, been doing this a long time, just like yourself, but the 3-truck thing is tough to beat because of the ability for, if they spread them out in the class, and they won Louisville, they won the Pullers Championship, they swept the Pullers Championship, and then you guys competed with them all season with your 1 truck. So congratulations to you and Tammy. I think that's a high praise. You guys deserve it. Well done.
Competitors in the 2-wheel drive class actually were happy and were rooting for you guys to win that championship. So I mean that goes along with that Outlaw family feel too. So yeah, congratulations, Richard, and tell Tammy congratulations too. We want to get her on camera here tonight too, but she's still out in the yard.
Yep, she's still out in the yard. Yep. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. I don't know. I don't think the points championship has really sunk in yet. I've just had so much fun this year. I mean, it kind of turned into another job there for a while. I never chased any points. Had been watching them, and when you kind of have to proceed on, then it kind of becomes another job. But it was all right. I mean, it was fun in the process. Few little challenges on the way, but something you work hard for. Never is easy, and always has challenges. So you just overcome and keep on going.
Yeah, well deserved, Richard. So, well, Richard, we thank you for coming on tonight. Tell Tammy we said hi, and we tell her we wanted to get her on here too. But once again, congratulations on your first points championship with the Outlaws in a super modified 2-wheel drive class.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Richard.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great interview, Ron. That was fun with Richard. I love all the comments that are coming in, and his Young Gun comment really got me. And
did you get something in your eye when he said that, or
a little?
Yeah.
I mean, because I was around it all summer long, and to see the effort, and then but the legend thing, I know that you guys are working on it. The upper, just for upper level management, working. I mean, I don't know how to say it. You and Dave and Kurt and everybody are working on doing something with the legends. I've seen some emails flying around about that, but to celebrate the puller. As many negative things, Ron, as there is about social media. Any ding dong can set up a Facebook account and post something stupid. For those of us that have taken social media and turned into something positive to really grow the sport, there's 1,000 people tonight that didn't know what Richard Morris looked like. You know what I mean? And now they do. Yep. Next time they see Buffalo's chips, they're gonna be, hey, that's that guy that was on Outlawed Live, and that's really what that we started our YouTube series Behind the Helmet and that's what Outlawed Live has done, and Let's Grow Pulling and all of our live shows. It gives us a chance to sit down like this because, I feel bad, Ron, going through the pits. I actually go look at the pulling order and go, oh, okay, Ulmer doesn't pull till late tonight. Maybe he'll interview. Maybe I can get an interview with him before the show because I know, and you know what it's like. I know what it's like when you're trying to get ready. You know what I mean? And get ready for a pull. and I don't want to mess up anybody's system or habits or anything like that.
Right.
I also, a lot of pullers, you want to tell their stories, and it was nice. We saw some stuff tonight about Richard that I didn't know about, and that's what it's all about. Tell some stories.
Yep.
Let your fans see who they are and celebrate greatness, celebrate an awesome championship. And that's what we intend to do with these interviews every single week. So
and the fans feel a little more connected, and they see, the real people behind, the truck, and they see that they're, they have actual lives and they're real people, and they put their pants on just like, you and I, and people get a little more connected to them. And that's a goal. So,
well, for the longest time, before I knew any better, I just assumed truck and tractor pullers were rich, and there's a few very wealthy ones, but at the end of the day, everybody else is cutting a paycheck, taking vacation time to go pulling, making sacrifices to pay for truck and tractor and pulling tractors. And it's a constant struggle for me to keep up with all of it every day. And I know a lot of people watching this too. So
some of the hardest working people in the world, are in our sport. And it doesn't come easy, I think, to any of them. They work hard for it.
Right.
But there's
to hear Richard say, I've been chasing this for a while, and he definitely stepped it up this year. It sounded different. It ran different. It was mean, very, very mean. And that's what you do. I mean, Adam Kester, Minor Brothers, that's legit. It's the best of the best stuff as there is. I know there's a lot of different motor combinations, and I don't know the truck world like you do, but I do know that, that's a name that you recognize, Minor Brothers and Kester, and they're running good. And then but you still got to drive it. You still got to drive it. You still got to weight it. And that's one thing I enjoy announcing with you, Ron, and other announcers is I think the average fan in the crowd just thinks it's all throttle. No, it's tire pressure, it's track prep, or it's, track position. It's where you put your weights. There's a lot of different things going on. And that 2-wheel drive class, when I get up close, we're doing all of our videos, I watch people saying, hey, don't crack it open until 50 feet. And, watching them roll it out a little bit on different tracks. And it's not just hammer down. If it was, everybody could do it.
It'd be easy. And it's not. Yeah. And reading tracks and there's a lot that goes into it.
Yep. And, Tammy does so much. Tammy volunteers for the Outlaws. You see her at the sign-up table. She's always doing something. And that's great. And then, like I said, just the camaraderie after the pull, you can always go to Morris's trailer. We should get lunch tickets made, Ron, next year. And free food over, try to make a couple bucks, and we'll give it to them. But I've tried to offer them money and help them clean up. And they're like, no, we got this. We love having people come over. And that's what makes it fun. Because that's really the time in the pits, Ron. That's really the pulling family. And you heard Richard talk about it, helping each other out. They put that helmet on, they want to beat each other. But other than that, they would help that competitor go out on the track to beat them. You've told thousands of stories, Ron, of people lending parts and working on stuff and different things like that. And that just, it makes me happy. It makes me proud to be a puller. So
it happens a lot, the borrowing of parts and Johnny Onser's, well, his motor was in Nick Christensen's truck, for a couple of or 3 different pulls, and it's like, who does that? Let you borrow an entire engine, let's here, borrow my $90,000 or $100,000 engine and go out and beat on it for a while,
Yeah.
It's so cool to see when these guys do this. It's one reason we love sport. One reason we love it.
And all the people that you meet doing it, and then just going around. And the Outlaw family is for real. It's legit, and it's a big family. It's not just 10 people. It's hundreds of people that really come together to rally to make it happen. And proud to be part of it. And I enjoy doing the show like this with you every Tuesday night to promote the Outlaws, promote the faces, promote the people that make the Outlaws run. And that's what it's all about. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to keep some video, boss man. Give me a second.
Let's do it. Let's get out of here and give the people something to watch. And
I'm going to Outlaw. If you haven't subscribed to outlawpulling.tv, you can still do it. And you can watch pulling all winter long, folks. It's amazing. It's like $40 a month or $39.95 a month. It's not bad at all.
and there's videos on there going all the way back to 2018. You can watch, like Jason said, pulling all winter long.
And I use it for promos like this and stuff. It's great. Here's some cord on Iowa. This looks like, is that Pro Stocks? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. Pro
So
Stocks. We'll just let that play. I'll turn the volume on. But Ron, we'll get rid of our faces, and I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
all right, buddy. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yep.
Of what they were designed to do. Something's going on with the sound out here. I don't know if it's clipping the amp on this side, but once again, give Kyle Carsons a round of applause. Tough break there on the lot of green John Deere. All right. Sounds like maybe his guillotine may have shut that tractor off. The kill switch was not activated, was still intact, but these tractors have a spring-actuated guillotine apparatus that will drop down in front of the turbocharger and snuff these motors out. In the case that they got loose from the sled or had a runaway tractor, the sled operator can pull that kill cable as well. In the field, on the track, wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb brand, a proud sponsor of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. DeKalb.com. Clint Metting coming off a win last night in Bowling Green, Missouri. This is the Bulletproof Buck. Comes out of Nordheim, Texas. Got to get past 316.14. Who sits out front at 316.14? Clint Metting's 18-year-old son, Connor Metting, sitting on top right now. Now, both the Metting tractors on a roll this week. Connor won on Wednesday night in Mercer, Missouri. This tractor, Clint Metting, won last night in Bowling Green. Who's going to win it tonight? Connor's in the lead right now. Clint Metting, Nordheim, Texas, the Bulletproof Buck. Nice hook for Clint Metting. Looks to be short. $311.99. He'll move into the number 2 spot. So both Metting tractors sitting 1 and 2 right now. Bullwagon in the lead. Bulletproof Buck in the number 2 spot with 4 to go. Yeah, beautiful pass all the way down the track. The front end finally settled in here. around 200 feet. Folks, before you get out of here, make sure you get a foot-long corn dog down there or a funnel cake. We'll get you one of those roasted pork chops on a stick. Man, those are good. Stop over at the Outlaw Souvenir Trailer, pick you out a T-shirt or a Frosted Frog cooler. Cody Yarrick coming up next, young man out of Rich Hill, Missouri. Currently leading this pro stock class. John Deere out of Rich Hill, Missouri. Young man by the name of Cody Yarrick. Has a commanding lead in the point standings right now. .316.14. That's the mark to beat. Calls the tractor. Gone. Oh, nice looking hook there for Cody Yarrick. We're out here watching that pass to see how that tractor did going down this track. They may change or adjust the way they drive. Signs equipment with a
Collection of used
Sizes we
Eric Claypool, hot shot. He's all injected. Here we go. Cameron Pascal, Spur, Texas. High cotton. Three 26.89 feet, 326.89. Nice hook for Cameron Pascal. Had good weight balance. Pulled out of the throttle just a little bit there towards the end of the track. You see those butterflies go horizontal as that engine goes wide open. He looks over at the VP leader flag.